You dove in a lot to the Steelers there, which does, when you put it like that, make some sense. Let's dive a little bit deeper into the Minnesota option and really being now a veteran presence for J.J. McCarthy and company. Talk about why that actually could be a really good landing spot for Kirk.
You know, Jordan, this is something that I brought up last year when the conversation was, should they move on from Sam Darnold? I was like, hold on, man. Like, at the end of the day, when they drafted J.J. McCarthy, they drafted him as a very young prospect. I want to say he was like 20 years old, maybe 21 when they drafted him. So there was no rush to throw him out there because he's so young. He's still on that rookie contract, and Sam Darnold had played really well. So if you still utilizing the age thing that goes on, and we're talking about now a Super Bowl that has a Sam Darnold in it, who had been on, 4 teams before he got to the point where he's now able to do what he has done the last 2 seasons in Minnesota and also in Seattle. It's about, hey, some of these quarterbacks may need time to develop, to groom and grow within the system. Kevin O'Connell is going to be there. He's a very good coach. We know he can develop quarterbacks. Why are we trying to rush J.J. McCarthy on a fast track to where he's not going to have success in Minnesota? So the best way to do that is bring in somebody like a Kirk Cousins to where if he does have to start, it can help groom and bring along a J.J. McCarthy. Therefore, you can continue to work with him behind the scenes, or even as an addition to what you already have on the roster. I think that's the best bet for not only J.J. McCarthy, for the Minnesota Vikings, and for Kirk Cousins if he still wants to play ball.
So those do seem like 2 teams that would be hard to argue against, right? That wouldn't make sense for Kirk Cousins. But looking elsewhere around the league, what about teams like Miami, Arizona, even the New York Jets as options?
Well, I look at, let's start from east to west. Let's start in New York. And let's think about what they have already on the roster. Guys that are athletic, guys that are mobile. The offensive line is in place. But do you want to go down that path again of an aging veteran? You saw what that looked like with Aaron Rodgers. I think you move away from that if you're New York. If you look at Miami, travel down I-95, go down south to Miami. You look at what they have in Tua Tagovailoa. You saw what you already have on the roster in Quinn Ewers, and you still have Zach Wilson down there who's waiting for his Sam Darnold opportunity, and both of those guys are still cheap options that can help you win ball games. We saw Quinn Ewers play really well. Now let's travel down I-10 going out west to Arizona. What are you going to do with Kyler Murray? You have a new coach coming in. Kyler Murray is still young enough, athletic enough, and is Kirk Cousins at this juncture of his career better than Jacoby Brissett, who's younger, a little bit more athletic? So I feel like the options are slim pickings right now for Cousins, as I just walked you through the entire country going north to south to west, like Carmen Sandiego, giving you reasons why maybe it doesn't fit for him in those 3 options.
Yeah, you definitely paid attention in school, that's for sure, Emery Hunt. I'm impressed with that. Okay, so we'll end here. You gave us your top 2 destinations. The third, really not a destination, but instead the potential of him calling it quits, hanging up the cleats. In your opinion, though, Emery Hunt, do you expect to see Kirk Cousins suited up in the NFL next season?
I do not. I think Kirk Cousins will retire. He got a taste of that TV life. He did a great job. And we've seen over the last couple of years his personality. He is now a cool dude, a fun dude. He has personality. I think he'll be great on TV. And at his age, considering he already has that Achilles injury that he had to come back from, and he's already been banged up, I think it's now time for him to realize, hey, you know what? I'll go be pro in something else outside of sports. And I feel like that's where he's more than likely going to end up being, probably here with us at CBS Sports.
That's a prediction. Yeah, the Kirko change. That personality is coming through and hopefully here to stay. Emery Hunt joining us here live on CBS Sports HQ as we break down the breaking news, as we are hearing reports out of ESPN that the Atlanta Falcons are expected to cut quarterback Kirk Cousins before the new league year begins in March.
Area as they get ready to host Super Bowl 60. That includes the NFL Honors Night. That's a look at the award winners left to right. And as we go right to left, boy, that MVP race was close. How close? Well, here are the statistics, but 24 against 23 at the end of the day. Closest MVP race in terms of first place votes since Peyton Manning and Steve McNair were co-MVPs in 2003. So we're bringing back Emery Hunt. If it's that close, he's going to be breaking it down in terms of who's better, Drake May or Sam Darnold, which both of them, by the way, combined for 33 regular season and postseason wins. That is the most ever between two quarterbacks entering a Super Bowl. So no pressure, Emery. Let's start with accuracy. Who has the edge between the two?
I know folks will focus only on completion percentage, but that doesn't tell the whole story. I'm talking about tying both accuracy with placement, so therefore I will go with Sam Darnold. I just love how he's attacking the intermediate level of the field. A guy just catches and runs with the football that he's throwing. Not many have to wait and kind of catch it. Not saying that's Drake May, but when you look at Sam Darnold, he's a little bit more consistent in that area, especially in the playoffs.
All right, so accuracy goes by the way of Sam Darnold. What about athleticism?
Here's the thing. They both are super athletic. I think Darnold may have a better first step, but we're talking about who uses their athleticism better. Let's talk about Drake May and how he's able to get up out of Dodge and make teams pay for forgetting that he's an athlete. So he's able to make guys pay. That's how he's been able to stay afloat in these ball games when he's struggling athletically. Struggling throwing the football, and with turnovers, his athleticism is what helps him out. And because he can run and is runner, you got to give the edge to Drake May.
We saw that in the bootleg against the Broncos to get them to Santa Clara. All right, so one for each so far. What about in pocket?
Because he can tie his athleticism with how he's able to find those second chance opportunities and doesn't seem to be bothered by pressure, I'm going to go with Drake May once again. I just feel like he utilizes his entire skill set. We want Sam Darnold to remember he's an athlete. When he does do that, it becomes even dangerous, but Drake May does that all the time. His athletic icon is always clicked to the on button, so therefore I give him the edge too within the pocket.
What about ball security?
Let's just focus on the playoffs, right? That has to be Sam Darnold, because Sam Darnold has not turned the ball over. And yes, he has thrown these interceptions,